So I'm super excited about the person you're about to meet. I had the privilege of interacting on a video that he did for an amazing song that he wrote. I hope you enjoy. I definitely enjoyed the conversation. And thank you again for agreeing to do it. Thank you so much, Art, for agreeing to meet with me and interview, because I think you're amazing. Um, your song that you wrote, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I think it's genius. And I really want to hear your journey, like what led to your diagnosis, and what are some things in the past that you're like, that might have been MS.
First of all, thank you for having me on today, be a part of this. And also, thank you for being a part of the video. You are awesome.
Of course, that was the best. And I'm so in love with
Have
that.
fun?
Video.
You look like you're having fun.
I had a lot of fun. And yeah, I actually have some behind the scenes shots of when they're trying to be serious and work. I have to show you those.
Yeah, I wanted behind the scenes shots. I wanted them in the video, actually.
Oh, okay.
They didn't get them. They didn't get them. But anyways, but yeah, well, so that being said, yeah, I was diagnosed with RRMS in April of 2016. So a little over 4 years now. And, but for the 10 or 15 years before then, I started having balance issues and coordination issues and fatigue issues where I just like, I never had issues like that before, where I'd just be somewhere and feeling great, and then all of a sudden I felt like someone threw me in first gear, and I was just like, oh man.
Yeah.
And really, and sensitivity to heat and cold, but especially heat. And just other things that at first I was just like, okay, well, man, I'm getting older. I'm in my 40s, things happen, energy, lack of energy, lack of testosterone, all that good stuff. But it got more and more and more. And in April of 2016, I was going to pick up my daughter from school, and it had been raining. I live in Pasadena, California, where we did the
Okay.
And it had been raining a lot, and the ground was really slick. And I'm driving and going normal speed, 37, 38 miles an hour. And I go to put my brakes on because I see a car stopped ahead of me in the right lane. And it just goes all the way to the ground. And,
oh, wow.
And I just started pumping the brakes and pulling on the it was like 3 to 4 seconds. And I just like knew I was going to hit this car, because if I tried to swerve into another lane, it would have probably pushed someone into an oncoming lane. So
right.
I took the hit. The bag went off my Ford. Thank you, Ford. Saved my life. The way they're designed.
Thank you, Ford.
Yeah, and God. And
definitely God.
Yeah, definitely God.
Yeah.
But the way they build cars now is for the energy to go down. And I hit this thing going almost 40 miles an hour. 10, 15, 20 years ago, I'd be dead. Growing up, we'd been dead. And so I got out of the car. No one got hurt. Everyone's okay. Some cop or EMT sold a picture of me to EMZ.
You're kidding me. TMZ?
TMZ.
Oh my God.
I don't even know how they got my number. They called me at like 7:30 in the morning the next day when I'm driving my daughter to school in my wife's car. And I'm like, wow. Are you kidding me? Anyway.
That has to suck. I'm sorry. It's like if I make a mistake and it's like, take a picture and send it, and gosh.
I know, but that was someone who was like a first responder, which doesn't impinge on any other first responders because they're amazing, especially in the time of the coronavirus. But,
right.
man, that irritated me a little bit. But anyway, 2 weeks later, I started getting a twinge in my neck. I call my doctor, and he's like, it's probably a pinched nerve from the contact. Go get an MRI. Let me see where it is, and I'll give you a little epidural. We'll take care of it. I'm like, okay. So I got the epidural, and I went to my doctor's office, and he has this little office. It's in the valley, and you walk in, and it's about as big. It's got a table, a chair. It's like an examination room.
Right.
It's a lot. When 2 to 3 people are in there, that's a lot of people. It's crowded.
Oh, wow.
I walk in there, and there's 6 grown men in smocks, thermos with notebooks, and they all look at me as I come in, and I'm like, oh man.
Like, what is
I don't
that?
know. I don't know what this is, but it ain't good. Whatever this is, this ain't good. And then they told me, a couple of the guys were neurologists, and told me that they both concurred from the MRIs and from blood work and stuff that they were pretty sure I had MS and that I should go see a neurologist. And I kept it together pretty well. Walked out to the car. It was turning nighttime. I'm sitting in the parking lot. I called my wife on FaceTime and told her what the doctor said, and we both started to cry. So that part of the song is absolutely true.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, yeah.
I started bawling. And I didn't know what was going to be home when I got home. I didn't know if she'd be home. I knew I wouldn't have been sister. I don't want to say I doubted her, but who knows? This is just, these were 2 words that we'd all heard before, but didn't know what they meant. And it was very scary. Multiple sclerosis is scary. And when I got home, like I was telling you earlier, my wife had like all 3 computers that we own out, and she looked like she was hacking into the government or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, baby, we got this. I've been reading about this. We got this. And we spent the next 3 days just reading everything we could about it. Found out about the hot water test. Test and all that stuff. And it gave us something to go on. And I got very involved with Dr. Terry Wall's protocol.
Oh, yeah.
We got to meet her online last year, which is really cool.
Nice.
And so, it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and I didn't hide from it. I told family and friends, and even people I would meet that I knew had it, or had were in a wheelchair, or come to shows in wheelchairs or canes or crutches, and I would talk to them and I would commiserate my experience with them, but I wasn't public about it until March of last year. So, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, I know you said you weren't public about it. What made you change your mind about becoming public about it?
Several different things. One, I had written a song, the hot water test, that I knew was going to be on the record, and I knew I was going to have to talk about it anyway.
Oh, okay.
And instead of just dropping it, I figured I should talk to family and friends and fans and people on social media about it, and just tell them the story of what happened. And also, people were talking about the way I was walking at shows, and you know how bad people can be sometimes. They want to think the worst. I've been clean and sober as of last June, 30 years. So it'll be 31 years.
Congratulations. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm an addict. I'm an addict and a drunk, and it's been a lot of work. And we can get into that later, but I think that's helped me a lot about how I work with my diet and as far as the MS goes. So it's been a blessing, actually. My sobriety has been a huge blessing in many ways.
Yeah,
but that being said,
I'm really happy for you.
Well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate
Yeah, and
it.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you've seen it. There's a T-shirt that says "I'm not drunk, I have MS."
No, I would buy
Yeah,
that right now. Right now.
yeah,
I'll buy
yeah,
that and wear it on stage.
yeah.
I,
It is. The first time I heard it or saw it, I was like, "Oh, that's genius!" Because a lot of times, and I've heard it, some people will walk into a bar, and recently I had a friend that went to a comedy club, and they asked her to leave because they thought she was already drunk, based on how she's walking. And so my friend that walked in a bar, because of the balance issue, she hit the table, and they're like, "Man, she came in here drunk. Like, don't sell her anything." But it's like, no, it's MS. It's not. So yeah, that is a shirt that is out there. That I'm not drunk, I have MS.
no.
So
So I will definitely buy that shirt if I can ever find it. But
yeah, I'll send
that
it to
being
you.
said, that being said, people had talked about that. Even my brother-in-law lives in Portland. He mentioned that people were talking about it, and I'm just like,
Mhm.
and that's when I told him and my sister, actually, I have multiple sclerosis, which really affects your balance.
Right.
It can, depending on the person, but for
Hmm.
me it did and does, and it's something I work on constantly. Um,
Good.
but that and just I felt one of the reasons I came out publicly was because I felt like there was an elephant in the room, and I don't like that feeling. I don't
Yeah.
I don't like secrets. Like we were talking before,
Hmm.
I'd rather
Right.
just tell people when I was ready to tell them and knew
Right.
what I wanted to say. And it took me 4 years, 3 years, but oh well, you know.
Yeah. The
I
timing is
did
perfect for when it needed to be
exactly.
released. So it's I just love and commend you for coming out about being diagnosed and letting people know, like, hey, this is actually what I'm going through. And when you were talking earlier about how the heat and everything can affect you, a lot of time, like, fatigue is a beast, dealing with MS. And it's funny, a lot of times I'll go, oh my gosh, I am so tired. Like, I don't think I can move, or, whatever it may be. And then when someone goes, me too, I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like, this is a different level. And it's like, yes, you're tired, but you're tired, you can walk 10 more miles or 3 more miles. I'm like, I can't take a step. Like, cause it's the fatigue is so bad, and the heat. It's like, I always know either I'm tired or I'm hot, because my walking, lifting my legs, whatever, it's terrible. So I appreciate it, but I want to talk about your song really quick, because when I saw the title of your song, I was like, that's genius. And I think the normal person would not understand. And what you just said, some people diagnosed with MS wouldn't know, what that means. So if you don't mind, can you share about your song and the meaning of it and the process of it? Because I'm in love with it.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, you're a part of it. You're in the video.
Yeah.
You're a big part of the video.
Yeah.
Um, so like I told you, I knew I was going to do a record. For those of you who don't know, I'm the singer of a band called Everclear, and I had never done a solo record before, but I knew that I didn't want to do a typical. I was starting to write. I don't like to say, okay, I'm going to make a record and I'm going to write songs. When I start writing songs and I feel the need to write songs, I get more than 3 or 4, and I feel I'm in that zone, then I'm like, okay, it's time to make a record. I'm making a record. And then
Gotcha.
start going through the process of that. And I knew I wanted to make a record, and I was in the process of writing songs, but I didn't want to make a big rock record like we normally do. And I had always wanted to do a solo record, which was just me playing everything. And I'm not a good drummer. I'm not a good keyboard player. So everything's very simple, but it works within the context of the song. And the songs on the album are, I'd say, 95% acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any electric guitar on it. So um, that being said, I when I was working on this record and I came up with, you know, different music for it, just when I came up with this riff and the melody for this, I'm like, I think this is the song. And I started looking at titles that I had written down that I wanted to write. A lot of times I'll write down titles of songs or names or words or lines or just something that'll spur imagination, you know,
Yeah.
and the juices flowing. And when I was reading online about a hot water test or hot bath test from late 1800s, early 1900s, as you know, that
Yeah.
that's how they used to diagnose MS, is by putting people in super hot water, wrapping them in burlap, and putting them in the hot water. It's just torture. It sounds like torture.
It really does. I'm like, thank God I was diagnosed now and not
Right?
a long time ago. It's like, we're going to burn you, and if you're walking is terrible. Yeah, we think you have MS, not you have it. Like, we think that might be it. It's
Or
like,
it's almost like like back in the day when they would test to see if you're a witch. If you
right,
floated, you were a witch. If you drowned, oh well, sorry, we were wrong about that one.
right, right.
Now you're dead. Which is,
Yeah,
as we know now, is just a way to shut up uppity women. You know what they
right.
considered uppity women, people who
Mhm.
had an opinion that
Right.
differed from the white patriarchal men at the time. Anyway, so yeah, those words, just the hot water test. I'm like, that's the name of the song. I had the
Yes.
music, I had the chords, I had everything, and I just let the words fester for a while, and then I wrote them in about a 2 or 3 hour period, which usually takes me longer.
Really?
Yeah, it just kind of came
Oh,
out.
wow.
I knew what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah,
with this for 3 years. I knew what I wanted to say. Two and a half
right.
years. So, and it came out so easy. And when I would play songs off the record for people before, you know, everybody was like, that song right there, that's the single. That's the song.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay, yeah. You know, and I was like, yeah, but it's not a real happy song. It's not, it is in a way, but it's not, it's about something that makes people uncomfortable to talk about. Just like
yeah.
the song Father of Mine back in the day,
Uh-huh.
talking about parental abandonment. That's not a surefire recipe for a hit song.
Right, right,
But it
right.
was a hit song. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it's just like, and I learned from that. And with this song, you just got to do what you do.
Yeah,
And whatever happens, happens. And you just got to put yourself into it and accept
yeah,
what you are and what your contributions and what your gifts and your talents are, and just accept
right. Well, I'm grateful that you wrote it. I'm grateful, that you were willing to talk about being diagnosed and what you went through. But I'm also grateful for your wife, because I know you mentioned a second ago, like, you didn't know what you were going to come home to, because she could have been like, I'm out, like packing up as you're driving home, and you walk home to her with her suitcases going out. Because there are people that walk away like, I didn't sign up for this.
So you've seen that. You've seen that happen.
I've heard of that. Yeah. Fortunately, I haven't seen it with a personal friend, but it has happened, and I've heard stories. And some people, it's filing for divorce because they couldn't handle it. And I mean, it's sad, what happened.
It
But
is sad, but man, if you're not all the way in, you need to get out. And
yeah.
I get it. At least they had the guts to admit it, and
Yeah, know it in advance and not be miserable for years and
exactly.
all that. But yeah, so that's why I said, please give your wife a big hug for me, and thank you for that, because I really appreciate it. But there's no way I cannot show your video to people, because it's just, I think I've watched it 1,000 times, share it everywhere, and I just think it's brilliant. I love your mind and what came out of it. So thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you even for taking time out today to talk with me. I really appreciate it. I really, really do. And I'm sure the MS community appreciates you too, to, you know, to let them see another side of, like, actually there are happy endings, you know, and that you don't have to lose everybody that was around you and things like that. So I appreciate you. I really do. And thank you. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of the video. That was a fun experience. I
You were
really
great.
enjoyed it. Thank you.
I can't overstate it enough. You were great. When you come on screen, you're natural. People are like, oh yeah. You're feeling it. You're rocking with it, and your lip sync is perfect. And but I like that a lot of the kids that we talked about, and a lot of the people that we talked about weren't perfect because it was real. It was real life isn't exact and pretty all the time. It isn't.
No, it's not.
But all the pieces don't fit. You know.
Right.
Sometimes square pegs, you got to put a square peg in a round hole, and it's uncomfortable, but that's what life calls for. And so, in that sense, thank you for being a part of it. You know,
of course.
I just wanted to go on and say I have been working on my. Like you said, it's a constant journey for me. I tried different diets. I was vegan for about 9 months, and then segued back into a paleo thing. And it's all about feeling good and finding what works for me and what doesn't make me feel good, what affects me. My medication I felt too strong, and I came off it a little bit, and told my neurologist about it, and he's like, "We'll see how it feels," and I feel better with less. And who knows? You know, I haven't had an MRI in almost a year, and because well, so when this whole COVID thing is, you know, back things get back to some semblance of normal when you can go to the doctor again without it being a full-on emergency.
Right.
I'd like to see what's going on, because I'm feeling really good, and we built a pool in the backyard. And
oh, nice.
Because that's one exercise we can do that you don't get overheated.
Right. Yeah, they say that is like one of the best exercises to do, to be in the pool.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome.
It's great for everybody. It's great cardio. It's great for your body, for your coordination, for everything. So, yeah.
And I'm sure your daughter appreciates it too.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, you have to build a pool? Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but thank you. I really appreciate you. I really do. And there's 3 questions that I ask everyone. I tell some people, I'm like, it determines our friendship, our relationship, and you know. But I want to know. The first one is, if you could go back to any age, what would your dream age be? Like, I could just stay at this age forever.
You mean in my life, or just a nebulous age for me?
For hold on one second. My phone just did something crazy.
Yeah, I lost you from that.
Yeah. Okay. Say that one more time.
So, for you mean in my life, at a certain age in my life?
Or just period. Like, well, I'll tell you mine afterwards, but
okay.
Your dream age, like, everything right here is great. Stay right there.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what time I wouldn't do. I wouldn't go through high school again, or middle school, for all the money in the world. I don't care if you offered me $100 million. I'd be like, no.
No, thank you.
I'd like it, but no, because I would be around. I couldn't do it again. It's so hard. And seeing my 12-year-old go through it is so hard. And she's in a great situation, not like me. I grew up in a housing project, so I grew up in project schools, and they were rough, man.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if I had to go back, probably my 30s, I probably the anxiety that I've had and panic I'd had in my depression in my 20s, In my 30s, I felt better, and it just all kind of made sense. Plus, I was successful, and I had money for the first time in my life.
Yeah.
I got married 2 or 3 times in a decade. So I was rolling pretty hard. If I had to go back, I'd feel well in my 30s because I still had energy. And I don't know if I already had MS at that time, but it wasn't affecting me. I could jump off stages, I could run, I can't run anymore. I'll trip and fall. Yeah, it's like playing basketball. I used to love to play basketball. Now I'm just like, I can't do it. So it's the pool for me.
Okay.
But so that's the one.
30s.
30.
Very good. And then, are you a caller or a texter? Do you like to call people or text them? Your preference?
I am a 58-year-old male. I am a caller.
Yeah.
It's like people are texting. I'm like, man, you're sending me 150 texts. Call me. We'll take care of this in 5 minutes. Get it done. Texting, unlike other men my age, I do believe texting has its place. If you're just like, hey, baby, at the store still, anything you need, you don't have to get into a big conversation, know? Or if you're checking in or something, or, hey, or my management's like, you got to call at this time, just reminding you. You need to call me, that's fine. But I'm a caller, for sure.
Okay, very good.
I think that's generational.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Older people.
Gotcha. And then peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What would be would you want smooth or crunchy peanut butter, and what would be the jelly that you want? Or even how it's made too.
Okay. All right. So if I have my druthers on it, it would be crunchy, organic peanut butter, non-salted, with and no sugar added, with 100% strawberry jam, not jelly. I like the grit of it, and even though I don't eat a lot of white bread anymore, that thick white bread. Now did you grow up in LA in Compton?
Inglewood. I grew up in Inglewood.
Okay, Inglewood. Do you remember Chip's restaurant?
I don't. I was born in Pittsburgh, and I moved here when I was 9. I had just turned 9.
Okay, it might have been, they were around then, but it might have been a little bit before your time. But Chip's was mostly on the west side, like Santa Monica, Culver City, West Hollywood, over on La Cienega. And they were built in the late 50s, early 60s. And the unique thing about it, they were like Norm's or any kind of Denny's or any kind of stuff like that. But at every table, you had your own toaster.
What?
And when you walked in, they brought you water and big slices of thick white bread, like Helms, made by Helms Bakery in Culver City. And man, that was, and if you were a poor kid, and all you could afford is coffee, you could go in there and have some toast and coffee.
Yeah.
For under $1, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was in the 70s and 80s. All those places used to go there all the time. And they were open 24 hours. So thick white bread, crunchy peanut butter, strawberry jam. Okay,
perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Thanks. I'm going to go make one right now.
Like made you want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
When do you not want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
I agree. I totally agree.
My new thing is peanut butter on honey, and I do it on whole wheat bread, gluten-free whole wheat bread, right?
Yeah.
And with honey, and then in a perfect world, I would put cinnamon sugar. Remember cinnamon sugar?
Oh, yeah.
Ever make cinnamon toast?
Absolutely. I did it all the time.
It's like poor people's cinnamon roll, right?
That's me, yeah.
Right here, baby. Butter, cinnamon, sugar, white bread, 15 pieces of that. go, go watch
Right.
TV.
I don't know. I almost want to go make that too really quick. It's like, just do a throwback real quick. We're like, what are you doing?
All crunchy with the sugar.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I definitely did that. So
Yeah.
that's fun. Yeah, that just put that back in my head. If I send a picture with toast, we're like, there we go.
No, yeah. I can't. I've learned over the last few years, I can't eat a lot of sugar. I don't eat any actually cane sugar. I use date syrup and some sugar alternatives, but they really they're inflammatory to me, and I can feel them in my MS. I can feel it in my body. So,
I need to get on the no sugar kick because I'm just, but yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm an alcoholic, recovering alcoholic and drug addict. And the sugar is very, alcohol is basically a different kind of sugar addiction because alcohol turns to sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of us do have a sugar addiction when we get out of there. But yeah, it's something I deal with every day. But I do believe I'm going to go put a little date syrup on some peanut butter right now.
Okay. Well, enjoy it. Enjoy it. You guys, please enjoy the video that's coming up. So, thank you.
My doctors told me that I had a disease. I will slowly fall apart until there's nothing left that looks like me. Oh, I smile at people as I walk to my car to call my wife. I told her everything the doctors had said. Then we both began to cry. She said, easy can be hard to do. Life can be ugly or beautiful and new. It's up to me, and it's up to you. She said, heaven isn't hard to see. It looks like life with a family. In this house that we call home, I will never leave you. I take my shots and I walk the walk. In every kind of way, I look for balance in the things that get harder every day. I'm afraid I will never be the man that I used to be. I'm afraid I will never be the man that I want the world to see when it looks at me. I know easy can be hard to do. Life can be ugly or beautiful and new. It's up to me to do what I have to do. I know heaven isn't hard to see. It looks like life with my family and me. In this house that we call home, I will never leave you alone. I will never leave you. I will never leave you alone. I will never leave you. I will never leave you alone. I wanna go in my own time. I wanna find a brand new life.